Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage, wrapping up a three-part video series on ATR QM Basics, a refresher. Now just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of CFPB guidelines. Also, this video was issued on July 3rd, 2018, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. Let's wrap up this series about talking a little bit more about qualified mortgage. So remember, for a loan to be a qualified mortgage, it assumes that the lenders have complied with the ability to repay rules. In other words, they've underwritten the loan considering all of those 8 factors that we talked about in part 2. Also, qualified mortgages are designed to help protect borrowers from risky mortgages, such as negative amortization, interest-only loans, or loan terms that are more than 30 years. Qualified mortgages also give lenders certainty about potential liability. Also, points and fees must not exceed 3% of the total loan amount in order for a loan to be a qualified mortgage. Now, there are some certain flexibilities for loan amounts that are $100,000 and less, but this is important. When you have those lower loan amounts, you have to be careful about origination fees or any lender fees that are charged, because they cannot exceed 3%, and that can be tough sometimes when it comes to those lower loan amounts. When it comes to ATR presumption, so presuming that a loan meets ATR requirements in regards to a qualified mortgage. So the type of presumption of ATR compliance depends on whether or not the mortgage is considered higher priced. So a first lien mortgage is considered higher priced if the APR exceeds the average prime offer rate APOR by 1.5%. So whatever the APR is on the loan, if it exceeds the average prime offer rate whenever the loan was locked by 1.5%, then it's considered a higher priced mortgage. So loans that are not higher priced mortgage have safe harbor. So what I mean by that is that if a loan has an APR that does not exceed the average prime offer rate by 1.5%, that means it has safe harbor. So in other words, the borrower cannot come back later and sue the lender saying that you gave me a higher price mortgage that I couldn't afford. Now, a little caveat to that is if a loan is a higher priced mortgage, so in other words, it can still be a QM loan, but be higher priced, okay? And that, I know that makes it a little bit more confusing. So when you're running a loan through your compliance system and you get a trigger saying that it is a higher priced loan, it doesn't mean that it's still not a QM loan. You know, certainly check with your compliance department, but it does mean if you originate that loan, the borrower could potentially rebut the presumption. And again, the presumption is that it meets ATR. So it can get a little bit sticky there. So make sure if ever it triggers the higher price mortgage in your system that you're checking with your compliance department. But the key is that most lenders want to do qualified mortgages, and qualified mortgages meet ATR. It's presume that they meet the ATR requirements, those 8 key factors, and in those cases, those loans are easier to sell to Fannie and Freddie and to other investors, and it also protects the lender down the road from the borrower coming back and saying, basically, you gave me a loan I couldn't afford. Now, there are a lot of lenders out there now that are doing non-QM loans, and there really is no technical definition of a non-QM loan, but basically a non-QM loan is a loan that doesn't meet these requirements. But again, those can't be sold to Fannie or Freddie. All right, that concludes this video series. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org to look for their weekly mortgage video tips designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, loan officers, processors, closers, and post-closers. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.